Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day, as we all are, with this awesome sale that we have from Bitcoin and every single altcoin in the industry. I laugh because it's just so stupid that it's hard not to. Anyways, why don't we take a look at Bitcoin, of course, see kind of what's going on there. If you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, just love helping you become better traders, and hopefully you can learn a thing or two here today. Now, with Bitcoin, first and foremost, we need to understand that we're probably likely at the most immediate support, right? And what I mean by that is right around 40,700, 40,600 is a previous major resistance as well as support level. And that could likely hold at this point. So, that's probably going to be the immediate sell wall or buy wall, if you want to call it that, because there's a lot of buying pressure there based on previous support levels, okay? Now, when we had this El Salvador candle, the price came down. That's essentially where the lowest the price would go before it came back up, okay? So likelihood of that staying there is fairly high, but just say we lose that, then we're going to essentially be making lower lows in the big picture, right? The macro, and that would be a bad thing, and we'd essentially be looking at lower target points, okay? Now I'll pull up a little bit of Fibonacci retracement levels here, kind of see what's going on, but we'll go ahead and just look at the more immediate kind of the traditional indicators, so to speak, and kind of just get perspective here. Because we're well below both moving averages. In fact, this is referring itself to, or kind of going to become, so to speak, a death cross, as it's commonly referred to. In other words, when the 50 intersects with the 200 in a downward fashion, that is essentially considered a death cross. The inverse is a golden cross, which is typically a good sign. But in this case here, not ideal, with the 50 moving all the way down to intersect with the 200. That's notoriously a bad thing for Bitcoin and other altcoins as well. So just bear that in mind. Also, furthermore, let's go ahead and take a look at the RSI. We're touching 30 on the one-day chart, which is traditionally considered to be a buy signal, right? So you got to understand, dollar cost averaging at 41,000, 40,500 isn't a terrible idea. Again, also bear in mind too that we could very well go lower. We're at this point right now where this is really a point of contention. If it goes much lower than this, then the bottom would effectively drop out like it did before, and we might see somewhere in the range of 30 to 35,000. We'll look at some Fibonacci retracement levels here in just a moment again to identify that, but at this point, that's kind of roughly where we're at for the moment. And we can also see significant bearish divergence here, obviously with that recent push up that failed. Okay, so all in all, the macro doesn't look great. It does look like it's going to trend lower and continue to make lower lows and lower highs. And as you can see here, we got this constant channel, so to speak, that's just working its way down, and I don't see it coming back up anytime soon as far as like a quick recovery. Okay, now we could see another dead cat perhaps. Again, really too early to tell. But I'm not surprised to see the price continue to progress lower based on the moving averages and essentially just the overall sentiment right now. Plus all the stuff on the horizon for next week with the news, you got to understand a lot of that stuff factors in. And unfortunately, Bitcoin is very susceptible to that because these are things that are going to go first before anything else based on the fact it's like more of a secondary market for the moment. Okay, so just understand kind of the general big picture stuff here, okay? So that's kind of what we're looking at there for the moment. Let's go ahead and pull up the Fibonacci retracement levels and kind of see where we're at here for the most recent, digression, so to speak, the recent sell-off. So obviously, as of December 7th, we've seen lower lows and lower highs pretty consistently. And we can see, of course, at this point, according to Fibonacci retracement, we are looking at, once again, about 40,700, 40,600, right in that range as the potential bottom for now. If we lose that bottom, it's going to be low as 37,700. And how I got that figure, of course, is the previous low of right here, kind of telling us that would be the next secondary support. And of course, Fibonacci retracement is essentially confirming that. So I would say that if we were to lose 40,500, 37.7 would be the next potential support for Bitcoin. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at some other indicators here as well. If we look at the 4-hour time frame here, we can see the 200-day SIP moving average is working synonymous with that downward pattern, essentially kind of just confirming that we are truly bearish at this point, at least on the mid to possible macro, right? We could very well see a turnaround, but just keep in mind the likelihood of Bitcoin bouncing back to 6 figures, like a lot of people were speculating, myself included for a little while, I think that's pretty much, that ship is probably sailed. That's my speculation. Not to say all these altcoins and stuff will not eventually take off, because yes, I do feel as if we will see alt season. It's just that it might be coming a lot sooner than we expected, with Bitcoin not necessarily having a blow off top. Again, just speculation at this point. We never truly know, but the 4-year cycle is kind of getting, dissolved, for lack of better terms, right now. We're not seeing that true fruition, and I think a lot of it has to do with market conditions. We're in a much different world now than we were 4 years ago and 8 years before that, right? So a lot of things have changed, and of course, cycles are not 100%. They're just kind of a guideline to help us understand where things might progress forward. Because history has a tendency of repeating itself, but it doesn't have to, right? We need to understand that. Looking at the 50 also, you can see it's kind of almost effectively working concurrently with the 200, therefore pushing the price action down further. So until we can get back up over the 50 and have a little bit more consistency, we're going to be in this position, okay? So just bear that in mind. We could essentially consolidate closer to 40,700. I personally don't feel like we're going to see a price lower than 40,000. I guess that's more so a hope of mine versus the fact that all the technical indications are kind of telling us we're progressing there. But just note, we do have a pretty strong buy wall somewhere in the range of 40,000, even closer to 33, 35, and 37. I'll pull up the volume profile here in a moment, just to kind of show you what I mean by that. But at this point in time, I would say that we need to kind of wait for consolidation. Do not consider taking entry. I mean, dollar cost average isn't a terrible idea if you can find some low points. Maybe set some crazy levels like for Ethereum, like 2,800 or 3,000 as a potential like limit order, for example. That way you can get filled if the price kind of wicks down. Because I do think Ethereum right now is trending around 3,100, which is kind of insane. So a lot of things have changed, right? It's a different market, different dynamic. Is shifting overall more bearishly, so to speak. Not to say that the bulls are gone and it's no longer going to take place, but there's a lot going on in the world and we just got to recognize that. So enough about that. And what we need to see here soon, right, is we need to see some consolidation sideways. We need to get some kind of healthy foundation somewhere along the lines before we can consider the price continue to increase. There's no real signs here based on this bearish type of pattern that we're seeing that we're going to see a breakout to the upside soon. We just need to see a healthy state of consolidation, more volume at a specific price point, and we don't have that yet because there's a lot of selling pressure at the moment. So there's a handful of things you want to try to consider, but that's essentially what we're looking at. Let's go back to the 1-day chart, take a quick look at the volume profile so you can kind of see what I'm referring to. And with the volume profile, we want to kind of go back all the way to the first of the year. So this is roughly January 1st right here on the left. And as we can see, we got the most amount of volume accumulation at 33,000. Roughly 33,400, okay? Now that's one of these Fibonacci retracement levels, so really, really close to that. We can round up and say about 34,000 is the next available support if we do lose 37. Albeit we do have a 36,000 support there with the Fibonacci retracement level, but if we do lose 37.7, we could see somewhere in the range of 34,000. So just bear that in mind. I'm not saying it's going to go down to that point at this time. It's certainly looking like it. It has no reason to turn around at this point. But if we do end up losing this bottom here at about 40,500 approximately, 37.7 is the next available support according to Fibonacci retracement and previous support levels. And then if we lose that, 34,000 is essentially where we're at. And what I mean by volume profile too is that with this volume right here at about 47,000, that's going to work as a resistance because when you have a strong accumulation of volume above a price point, that's commonly referred to as a resistance, which is very synonymous with the volume weighted average price if you've ever used it. You just use that on shorter time frames where the volume profile works a lot better in larger time frames. Therefore, we can totally kind of identify that 47,000 as a major key level resistance for Bitcoin if we're to come back up there. Okay, so the price recovers and slowly progresses back up. Just know that's going to be a point of contention. If we take the inverse and the price continues to digress and go down, you can see a large volume accumulation between 34, 35, and 37,000. Those are basically the three largest volume profiles, so to speak. So the good thing is we have a nice solid foundation worth of volume here, but there's not a lot in between 40,500 and 37,700. Yes, there's some volume. It's not a tremendous amount, but there is some. But it really is one of those things where if we lose this support here at right around 40,500 as a close approximate, then we're going to probably see a pretty strong decrease to the next available support level at 37,700. So just try to keep that in mind here. Usually I recommend dollar cost averaging in most cases, but right now it's almost best just to kind of sit on the sidelines. Don't bother dollar cost averaging, save some USDT or whatever it is that you use to invest, and just wait for the right time. Heaven forbid the price goes up for a little bit, which it will inevitably do before it potentially dead cats back down. Don't feel like you're missing out or losing out too much, right? Yes, there's some altcoins that might take off, and I'll take a look at that, of course, specifically for my community members. I'm paying attention as much as I can for altcoins that are, singular, basically moving singular of Bitcoin, right? They're essentially no longer synonymous. But when we have these points of, when we think about this, how much we've seen in the last, 24 hours? Let's just say 30. Let's say 48 hours, right? We're down about 13.5%, which means most altcoins are down about 25 to 30% in the last 3 days. Heaven forbid, obviously there's some that are not actually, truth be told, but majority of them are. So, we're feeling the pinch, we're feeling the pain. So if you have some altcoins that you really want to invest in long term, totally dollar cost average, they're probably still a good value. But just bear in mind, we lose a support level here at 40,500. We're going to essentially have a lot more on sale. So why not be patient? Why not wait for that to happen? Because it almost feels like it's going to happen regardless. Okay, it's just kind of the way that it's working. I would say for the next week, I would keep some money aside, wait on the sidelines, kind of see what happens here. Perhaps you could do some short-term scalping, of course, with certain things when we get these bounces that we're going to expect, but don't get too, over happy, if you will, if you see Bitcoin come up to just say 42,000 in the near future. It's going to probably reject off of some of those key level previous support levels, which are now resistance levels. And you could see the price continue to digress lower. So we don't really have any signals right now telling us that we're going to see this turn around immediately. We need more time, we need more data, we need to test these key level supports to see what happens. So hopefully you found benefit here and you understand a little bit more about what's going on with Bitcoin. I know it's kind of a mind screwer, right? It totally screws with your head, because I'm sure we've all been dollar cost averaging our way down here, right? It's like, how much more can I invest in the market that's just going down? Well, the likelihood of Bitcoin coming back eventually is still very high. Just bear that in mind. So try not to feel terrible about what you've done so far. Just again, be cautious, cautiously optimistic here, and make sure that you set some money aside. Because yes, the price will inevitably bounce, but it could essentially, and is giving us pretty much every indication it's going to want to continue to go down further. All right, so we lose 40,500. Be ready to potentially, wick down to 37,700. I think that's a strong likelihood at this point. So I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll cover Bitcoin again soon. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.